Joining me now from Toronto is Linda Gaylard. She's a tea sommelier, a trained and knowledgeable tea professional. She's also author of The Tea Book, which explores teas from around the world. So, Linda, why has bubble tea become so popular? And did you think 2 decades ago it would still be pretty big today?
Hi, Elaine. No, actually, I didn't. I thought it was a trend that would just sort of work itself out and that there wasn't really any place that it could go other than to continue with the tapioca and various flavors. So it's actually astounding to see all the directions that it's gone in, and very fun, really, because it's almost become a culinary sensation. I think one of the new trends that we're going to see going forward is more chefs using flavors, possibly even savory bubble teas. So there's lots still to discover.
How have you seen it evolve over the years when it comes to the recipes, the colors, and the tastes? Is it a reflection of the generation, or why do you think it's evolved the way it has?
Well, one of the trends that I noticed probably about 8 years ago when it started moving away from the tapioca bobas and into other inclusions in the drink was the inclusion of alginates, so almost like molecular gastronomy. And you see these popping bubbles in the tea, and different flavors of fruits being added to traditional teas. So that's when it started, probably about 10 years ago, seeing it verge away from the traditional tapioca bubbles and traditional tea.
So who loves bubble tea? Is it for everyone? Describe the typical drinker, because some people really aren't into the texture of the boba or the pearls in their drinks.
Right. Well, I think it's a fun drink. I think it's a very social drink. It's not necessarily something that you would go and pick up on your own and drink, take home and drink alone. It's a kind of beverage that you'd go into a bubble tea shop and with a bunch of friends and get your bubble tea and possibly get something really unique colors, really unique inclusions and fruits and foam, and I've even seen creme caramel, on the top of bubble tea. So there's a lot of things that are attractive about it, and I think one of those things is the social aspect. And then it gets, of course, posted on social media, and that seems to be very much a part of it.
Yeah, it's part of the experience, choosing your different flavors. Do you think this business, though, is close to topping out, or do you think we'll continue to see growth and expansion in bubble tea?
Yes, I think you'll continue to see growth. I think particularly in North America, we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg, because most of the creations and innovations are coming out of China and Taiwan, and possibly Vietnam and some of the other Asian countries. So North America does have bubble tea chains, but they're taking their cues from what's happening in Asia. I can see that possibly the new frontier would be people making bubble tea at home. That's maybe something that hasn't really been explored very much yet. It would be a fun activity with kids. I can see, as I mentioned earlier, the savory bubble teas becoming popular. I mean, we heard the gentleman talking about the cheese tea. So, what's to stop you from having a celery bubble tea or a salsa bubble tea? Those are all possibilities. One of the things the industry is going to have to watch out for is there has been some criticism about the high sugar content in bubble tea, and also the fact that most of the packaging is not particularly environmentally friendly. There are a number of companies that are pursuing that aspect of bubble tea and creating reusable straws. In fact, little packages that you can put in your bag to take with you that have a stainless steel straw and a lovely little drawstring package that it comes in. So there are companies that are sort of answering those questions for the future.
All right, Linda Gaylard, thank you for joining us.